because somebody is giving them the information, either for monetary gain or whatever, we do not know.
Chief Rufus Egbeba is the chairman, Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, FCT. He believes that state actors, such as the National Orientation Agency, as a matter of urgency, needs to galvanize synergy with security agencies and relevant civil society organizations to drive aggressive sensitization on security consciousness in such vulnerable areas.
Very key. The traditional institutions must be involved, the police must be involved, and government must also create that consciousness. And I want to also say the National Orientation Agency must also come out to say that. How do we sensitize to ensure that citizens are involved in issues of security? The need for citizens to be more proactive, to be more effective. Communities that are with, particularly the border communities in the FCT, it's very important that this the issue of security watch groups are being established. The issue of the vigilantes must also be properly coordinated.
Security and crimes management consultant Stephen Okori shares similar sentiments.
And there are a lot of things that also goes there. Some people, you don't have to disclose or discuss your financial transactions in the open, you know.
Thank you, Onotu, for that background report. That will set the tone for our discussion, as I earlier mentioned, and I'm going to introduce our guest this morning. Our guest today is the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Isiaku Sharo. You're welcome to Call the Police.
Thank you for having me at the studio.
You have watched part of the background reports, the present kidnapping realities in FCT boundaries, and of course the scope-ups. Can you please shed more light to this?
Well, let me start by saying that it is not by accident that the Nigeria Police Force prides itself as the lead on internal security. And these are matter of legislation, policy, and practice direction. In this regard, the Nigeria Police Force, under the watch of the current Inspector General of Police, as well as the Commissioner of Police, CP Haruna Garba, and his lieutenants are working assiduously to ensure that we stem the tide by stepping up the game. And we are doing all that is within our purview as a law enforcement agent to ensure that all these ugly incidents are controlled. Nobody is sleeping, right from the Commissioner of Police to the last constable. If you go out in the night, you will see what we're doing. Of course, crime and criminality is an integral part of the society. There can't be a society without the crime, but it is being reduced to the lowest ebb. The fifth columnists are capitalizing on some of the happenings that is not much, to blow it out of proportion. A lot have been achieved within the Yuletide period up to the New Year crossover. So we are doing the work. We have the capacity, we have the audacity, we are sagacious, we will do it, and we'll continue to do it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's encouraging to hear those words coming from you. Yeah, from our background reports, I heard the CP also mentioning it's so sad that some members of the community are also people that give this. Sometimes we give them information, like you said, probably because of gains. Or why would you want to sell out your community because of something that you want to gain?
So you see, this call for strategic partnership with all the stakeholders, the National Orientation Agency, and our community leaders, the civil society organization, to make sure that the interests of the nation is at heart. If we place national interest over and above personal interests, we'll get it right. Other countries don't do that. So If something happens, in a worst case scenario, state it as it is, but don't blow it out of proportion. Yes, because it's not encouraging at all. Last well, it's not up to 2 weeks that the Commissioner of Police had a press briefing where we parade suspect and the exhibits recovered, ranging from the vehicles with foreign numbers, those without plate numbers, suspected to have been used for this one chance robbery, and the armed robbery suspect, including the syndicate that was suspected to have killed the other lady that was killed, where the National Assembly was busy calling all the security head to appear. So we were able to smash that syndicate. So we're doing it and we'll continue to do it. All that we need is right information to be passed across.
Okay, now this is on a general overview. Year in, year out, locations such as we have Buhari, we have Abaji, we have Kwari area councils. They're always been tagged as red flag areas. Why has there not been like a deliberate measure, taken to put an end, like you said, it has been reduced to the barest minimum, but areas such as the ones I have mentioned keep on reoccurring, they keep on mentioning people being threatened, in such areas.
Strategic security system is already being put in place. You remember I was supposed to be with you in this program last week.
Sure.
I couldn't make it because of an impromptu call. The Commissioner of Police led the delegation of the mobile police force, MOPOL 21, MOPOL 50, and other area commanders with over 70 personnel. We move in with the armored personnel carrier for confidence building. For confidence building, it was a case of one case too many. But before then, and the area was calm. It was just an episode of that day. But since that time, there was no report of any, kidnapping along the axis. The men are working around the clock, 24 hours around the clock. Okay. And not only that, what is most important is strategic partnership.
Sure.
Upon arrival, the Commissioner of Police pay a courtesy call on the traditional institution. He met with some civil society organization for partnership, and that is what the community policy is involved entails. So we are doing quite a lot. Okay. The men are doing their work well. The communities are also giving the helping hand, because what is most important is strategic partnership.
Sure. Yes. And we hope this strategic partnership and, of course, collaboration will yield positive results.
It has already been yielding positive results, because since then, there was never any case of kidnapping along within the corridor of Buhari area council, because like you rightly said, the town share boundary with about 3 states, Kaduna, Niger, and Nasarawa. So it behoves on all of us. What is most important is helping the security agency to do what is expected of them in terms of passing the right information. That is patriotism.
Thank you. And like they always say, security is everyone's business. Yes. If you're just tuning in or if you're watching, this is called The Police, your regular security check program on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja. We're here every Wednesday at 10:30 for you to also, it's like a two-way thing. I would say security is everyone's business. You bring your suggestions, you bring your comments, you bring your queries, and our security personnel who are always here with us every Wednesday will respond adequately. So it is on that note, we urge you to call the numbers showing on your screen if you want to be part of today's discussion by discussing that all-important topic, kidnapping in the FCT and environs. So you can call us and be part of today's discussion. Okay, in the course of the weekend, no fewer than 10 residents in Sagwari Estate, somewhere around Sokale, I think, and a staff of hotel in Dusi. Okay.
Until we get this victim rescued.
Okay.
So we cannot unveil our strategy, but the strategy is being put in place, and we always review it timelessly to beat the criminal.
Okay.
So,
of course, if we don't expect you to disclose your strategies here. It's meant for you to, of course, to be able to nip crime in the bud. Okay, you have given us the latest update, being 5 residents and not 10 as are reported on social media. And some sources also reported that the residents actually alerted security agencies while there was no prompt action. Is this true?
Well, you see, it is when something happened that people will just be saying whatever they're saying. The security apparatus is already in place. You will appreciate this when you go out in the night, moving around. You will see all the RRS vehicle, all the ACOS vehicle, all the teams from the divisions and other tactical teams are all out. So the issue of saying that the information is being passed across is far from the truth. Our men are there. It's just that sometimes the terrain is not a favorable one, but we are also working, leveraging on technology to see that we can penetrate the place, vigorously, so that the ugly incident will not happen. But passing the information that the police have not acted is not true.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now you talked about the terrain sometimes not favorable and all that, maybe not reachable, considering how vulnerable these places are. What mitigative measures can residents adopt to help in this kind of a situation?
Like we said, yes, despite the fact that the terrain is not too favorable, we are still in the bush. We are still in the bush, and we are also leveraging on technology to zero down to where these miscreants are. So we are working. We are working.
Okay, now let's talk about the place of interagency collaboration. You mentioned it earlier, and you talked about how community members have also been supporting. Let's talk about interagency collaboration. How has it been like in the area of living crime in the board, in the FCT?
Yeah, when you look at Section 2 of the Police Act and Regulation, it is very, very clear. It talks about the general objective of the Act. It says the Act is to provide for a more efficient and effective police service that is based on the principle of accountability and transparency, respect for the rule of law and human rights. And last but not the least is strategic partnership with other sister security agencies. So we're doing that as it is, as I'm talking to you, there is a task force, a joint task force that is currently working in Buari that you're talking about, and even the Dusan Alaji, and even in town, if you can find time to go out in the night, you will see them working. It comprises of the police, the army, the civil defense, and other security agencies. They are working, and quite a lot of achievement in terms of recovery of, vehicles that is being used by this one chance and robbers. So we have them. So the collaboration is still in force, and the FCTA administration is really helping the command to ensure that this thing goes seamless.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it's quite interesting what you've talked about interagency collaboration and how you have been able to achieve a lot so far. Okay, that's about interagency collaboration. Let's look at community policing,
Okay.
which has to do with the community members who are like the most involved in when you talk about crime and criminality, because at the end of the day, it's the community members that are sometimes affected the most. So how is your collaboration like with PCRC members and of course community members in general?
Well, you see, community policing is a philosophy that seeks to reinvigorate the police service from the perspective of community partnership for the purpose of transparency and accountability. So the key components there are police community partnership, problem solving, and implementation. These are the three key components. And when you look at it, the driving force of the community policing borders on the intelligence-led policing, visibility policing, neighborhood watch. So you see all these things involve stakeholders. And who are the stakeholders? We're talking about the traditional institution, civil society organization. Of course, the PCRC are part of and parcel of us. We can't do without them. They have been rendering helpful hand. So they are strategic partners. So community policing is key. Community policing is germane. Community policing is central and pivotal. So without it, security cannot function, because what is most important is for the police to give its own contribution towards boosting the economy. All the challenges, because if the security is not effectively put in place, the business cannot thrive. The business community, particularly the foreign direct investors, cannot come in and invest. So we need them. And even the strength of our currency depends on the security itself, because the strength of the currency depends on the volume of trade, investment, and geopolitical risk. So if the geopolitical risk is high, so you don't expect the business community to come in. Okay. Even the local one cannot try. So all these are strategic partnership, and that is what community policing is entails.
All about.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
I think we seem to be having network issues today. Our callers are not getting through all the same. I want to believe they are watching and listening from the horse's mouth, and of course getting encouraged, especially in this new year 2024, of how to go about securing their lives, of course property. There's this particular question that I always love to ask whenever I'm on air, this issue of one chance, because it has metamorphosed into another level where even the victim will not even know, no matter how careful you want to be. You will see pregnant women in the vehicle, you will see an aged man in the vehicle. Who would ever suspect them to be criminals? So that's what I want you to shed more light, or probably like a way of emphasis to members of the public in order for them to be security conscious.
Okay, you see, I'm a worker about DC operations. I move around in the night. So quite a lot of things are happening, but with the presence of security, like I said, one of the driving force of the community policing is visibility policing. So you see, there is no law that says people cannot move around in the night. There's no law that says so. So, but at the same time, people should be very, very conscious of their lives. You see, between this Games Village roundabout and Games Village bridge, around 1:30 a.m., I saw passengers by the roadside. Any vehicle they see, they will stop it. And I told them, look, there's no law that says you should not do that. But you should also be conscious of the fact that this is wee hour. Why should you be stopping a vehicle of known identity at this material time? You see, that is from the side of the citizen. They should also be conscious. And then from our own side, any vehicle that we see, we suspect. we dwell on that,
Okay.
particularly those tinted and what have you. We do that.
Okay, I
Yes.
can see my producer is signaling me to round up, and I can see you have a lot of tips to give us this morning on the program. I hope you would probably when next you visit us, you give us more of such tips that will help us, to be security conscious more and more. That is to say that I wish we can go on, but time is not our friend at this moment. We thank you so much, the Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations, Isiaku Sharu, for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you once again for having me.
Our pleasure.
Anytime.
Our pleasure as always. And to our esteemed viewers, we thank you so much for your time. We thank you for being part of the program this morning. Remember, as always, security is always everybody's business. Collective support to security agencies with credible and timely intelligence information will go a long way in ensuring our national security. Until we come your way again, same time, same station next week, I am Tessie May. We thank you for watching.